Hey guys, Xaryu here, and today we are playing some RMP Frost Sub Disc with Gex and Roasties, actually. These guys are just incredible players. I was very fortunate to be able to play with them, and we are on Tiger's Peak versus a Ret Warrior Shaman. Pretty, fun matchup back and forth. I like that, one, they're not human. They are orc, some of them, so it's kind of okay. I hate fighting humans because that extra trinket. But anyway, so they're orc and blood elf and orc again, and they're triple trinket. That's the first thing you want to look for when you enter a game, guys. I try to drill that into your heads. Look for their race and look what trinket they're using. That's the number one thing you need to be looking for, because if someone's, a troll and their adaptation, guys, you can kill them in a bomb in the opener. You know what I mean? So you want to really just look at the race, look at their trinket type, and it's really going to help you throughout the game. Here we are sapping the Paladin, Warrior Ghosts, and Blade Storms, and I think we might do a Shaman opener. Here's the Shaman opener right away. Switch my focus to the Warrior because the Paladin's already sapped. I'm going to be switching my focus a lot this game. Counter-Strike Totem is up. Let's see if I go ahead and kill that. I do. This is going to be my Orb, my Comet Storm, my Ice Nova, some Ice Lances, just like I tell you guys in my guides. That's exactly what I do here in this game. Trying to sheep off the Paladin's Ashbringer. I don't actually get it because that sheep gets dispelled. Once again, switching my focus to the Shaman. Saved my Icy Veins in the opener. I want to do a big go with my Icy Veins. I want to almost kill with my Icy Veins, or at least get a lot of cooldowns. In the opener, Ashbringer's a thing. In the opener, Earth Shield, and there's just so many peels with the Warrior Fear, Warrior Stormbolt, Warrior Kick, Pallyhaj, all that kind of stuff. I don't want to get peeled on my Icy Veins, so I actually hold my Veins until the second go. Here's our second go. I pop my Veins here. Paladin is forced to Trinket. Shaman is forced to Trinket. And these are very, very big cooldowns that we got out of here. My Rogue Step kicks the Shaman, trying to get some follow-up CC, get that half sheep onto the Shaman, going for a quarter sheep. I'm frostbolting right now, and a lot of you might be like, why are you frostbolting? The reason is I've already done my Comet Storm Ice Nova kind of burst and my Ebon Bolt burst, so I don't have any other burst up right now. So even though we're going, the only damage I really have is Frostbolt, which isn't much, which is kind of just setting up for another next big go. Also, Comet Storm's available, but the reason I'm not doing that is because the Pally and the Shaman are so close, and the Comet Storm does, have a chance to break that polymorph. So I don't want to actually just break that CC. Now that the polymorph ends, I go ahead and use Comet Storm, blink in, Belf the Shaman, Nova everyone to keep them into place, and I'm just going for more CC. I really want you guys to keep an eye on the polymorph DRs this game. There's 6 seconds left till I can sheep the Shaman full again. Sheeping the Warrior right here to keep him off of my Priest, actually. The Warrior immediately trinkets that Counter-Strike zap me, so I see if I notice. I do notice that Counter-Strike is zapping. I get polymorphed. I actually block the polymorph, go for some sheeps. Counter-Strike does go down eventually. Counter-Strike maybe could have gone down a little quicker, but I was CC'd that entire time. Priest is having trouble keeping himself up. Sheeping the Warrior, sheeping the Pally 3 times, trying to keep everyone off of DR pretty much that whole match. The Shaman comes off DR, get that full sheep. We get a double fear on the DPS, and this should allow my Priest to actually top himself. I have a lot of damage on whatever we decide to go. Have that Orb down, have the Blizzard down, throw out some Ice Lances. Get that repolymorph. There's the Comet Storm, the Ice Nova. I'm trying to get one more polymorph. The Spell Reflect and the Die by the Sword comes out from the Warrior, so he's actually probably going to be okay right now. No more CC onto the Shaman for a little bit, and go ahead and sheep the Pally. We're not actually going to get a kill until this next CC on the Shaman. They all have no trinkets available. We definitely could force out... I'm not sure if Paladin has Bubble, but we could definitely force out a lot of cooldowns in this next go and maybe kill in the go after that. They're still kind of training down my Rogue and my Priest, which gives me a lot of free time to, get a lot of CC, get a lot of stuff going. If they were going onto me, I wouldn't really mind because all of these stuns from the Rogue kind of help me get that CC anyway. Get that full sheep onto the Shaman right off the DR. Counter-Strike is right here. Kill it. Big go, I think, onto the Pally or the Warrior here. I'm not quite sure yet. So my Priest calls out that he wants to fear off of the sheep. Looks like we're going Warrior, and he doesn't want the Pally to sank the fear. So he calls out the fear, so he gets the Pally and the Shaman off of that kidney shot. So he fears off the sheep on the Shaman, he fears off the kidney onto the Pally, so double fear there. Well, triple fear really, but we're breaking it onto the Warrior. Big damage onto the Warrior. Thought behind going Warrior was... You know, he had no die by the sword, he had no trinket. Don't know if he had Earth Shield. I don't think he had Earth Shield during that time either. The Mind Control comes out because the Pally, the Pally's Fear breaks, and the Sank comes out onto the Fear, onto the Shaman. Mind Control follows, and we're continuing damage onto the Warrior. Comet Storm now that it's not going to break any CC, trying to get something off onto the Shaman, get that half sheep onto the Shaman, going for that quarter sheep, get the quarter sheep. Don't really have too much to follow. I have a Belf Silence coming up in 1 second. Let's see if I notice. I do Belf Silence, get any extra bit of CC I can. Have that orb down, have the Blizzard down, the Spirit Link comes down, and that Earthen Shield Totem comes down as well. So we got a lot of cooldowns there from these guys during that last go. And we do a mini go on the Shaman, actually, and we get Trinket Well immediately from him. He gets to 3% life. I thought he was going to go down, but that's pretty much all I have. And, you know, Orc Relentless being a thing, he's just going to survive. Counter-Strike Totem's up once again. Let's see if I'll go ahead and see that. I snipe it down now. Go for a sheep onto the Shaman if I can. Full sheep out onto the Shaman. The Ret and the Warrior are both fine kill targets. The Ret has no trinket. He does have Earth Shield. The Warrior is getting his trinket back, and he has no Earth Shield, so it kind of just depends on where we want to go. Out of my sheeps, I Conical the Shaman because my priest comes in, wants to fear. Conical to keep the Shaman nice and slow. Building up my damage onto the Warrior with the Frost Bolts because I want to gain those Icicles, gain those Flurry procs for when we actually decide to go. We get a full blind onto the Shaman, a cheap shot onto the Warrior, and this is my time to shine with Icy Veins. So Icy Veins, Orb, Common Storm, Ice Nova, Ice Lance is going to come out here. Want to get a sheep. I actually make a big mistake. I blink away to get this Polymorph, and the reason I blinked away is because I didn't want the Warrior to leap on me and kick me, or charge me and kick me, or Stormbolt me, or, you know, have any type of interruption. I blink away so there's no way I can get interrupted, but I actually blink like 1 yard too far out of range, and I missed the sheep off of the blind, and I was like kicking myself there. I'm like, I do this play that's supposed to be good because I don't want to get interrupted, and I ended up interrupting myself in the end. Get the sheep a little bit late. It's not good to have gaps. That was my mistake. Looks like Pally did have no bubble, and he does go down. So tons of cool plays throughout this game, tons of cross CC, tons of CC change, tons of burst change. This is why I always say RMP is a hard comp, even when it's good. Like right now, RMP is good. RMP has been good a lot in the past as well. The same thing with RMD, but I don't think it's an easy face roll comp. A lot of people mistakenly, maybe type in the comments if you think I'm wrong, but a lot of people mistakenly just tend to think RMP is face roll, and I cannot think of, you know, a worse way to describe RMP. It's very good, it's very strong, it's probably very annoying to play against because it's just so powerful, but it's the opposite of face roll, right? I mean, you're constantly tracking DRs, you're constantly tracking enemy cooldowns, you're constantly tracking what burst you have, constantly cross-CCing, constantly CC chaining. The fact that you can do all that might make it overpowered, but the fact that you're doing that makes it a very difficult comp to play and a very difficult comp to master. Let's hop into another game. Okay, guys, so here's a short game versus Disc Survival Rogue. This is a pretty hard matchup for us just because I'm so squishy. I flashed my talents on the screen real quick there, but basically I'm playing a standard spec, playing with Netherwind Armor, playing with Common Storm Ice Nova. Common Storm Ice Nova is better than Glacial Spike when you're queuing with a Rogue because the setups are just too fast. You're not going to be able to get a Glacial Spike off into a burst, and if you can, it's the other team shouldn't let you, basically. You always want that instant cast damage. You always want to go more frequently, and Glacial Spike is basically just too slow, too difficult to set up here. So here we are in the opener. We get the Hunter out, casting Frostbolt on him. I want to note that the Hunter and the Rogue are both human, and they're both Trinket, so it's very difficult to actually score a kill on these guys. What I also want to note is that when you Trinket or you human racial, it shares a 30-second cooldown with each other. So if the Rogue Trinkets, or if the Hunter Trinkets, they're going to have 30-second downtime where they have no Trinket available before their next human racial comes up, right? So just keep that in mind. So the Rogue actually human trinkets the first stun, and he has 30 seconds until he can trinket the next one. So just keep that in mind. Here they're going on to me. I use my temp shield, double blink away, trying my best to preserve my ice block, but I just can't. Go into the block, it's massive spelled out. So as you can see, as soon as they connect, they're immediately forcing cooldowns. The smoke bomb comes out, I'm shiv slowed, and I think that's wing clip. I'm very, slowed by the Hunter and by the Rogue. But look at this, guys. Right here in this game, as far as we are behind and as difficult it is to get a kill, I call out for a kidney bomb onto their rogue. He is a human, so he has another trinket available, but it doesn't come up for 7 more seconds because the trinket shares cooldown with the human trinket. And I'm very thankful for this because if it didn't, it would be extremely hard to kill humans. But anyway, we had to wait for the DR to come off, so I'm actually going to rewind this. The DR was still up right here with 13 seconds left. You know, if I go back and just 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left, 1 second left, the DR fades and there's 12 seconds left until the rogue has another trinket available. So essentially we have a 12-second window to do a go onto this rogue with all of our cooldowns in a bomb before he can just trinket and vanish out. If we wait 12 seconds, it's too late. So there's just a sliver of time where I'm like, let's go rogue. We get to the, I'm trying to CC the hunter with the sheep to get some type of cross CC out of the hunter so we don't get peeled or penstocked, etc. I do get kicked on that, but that's okay. Now that kick's out of the way, I can go ahead and just Icy Veins, Orb, Comet Storm, Ice Nova. Belf the Priest as he comes into the orb. As a little cross you see there, it's a 2-second silence. He's at 44% with only a little bit left to kidney, but my rogue is about to unleash probably an Abyss or the Gormaz just landed. I have an Ice Lance ready to go, so we just completely melt before that Belf Silence comes off. The Belf Silence followed up by the Focus Cheap Shot from my rogue. So not like any hard CC on the priest there. We just had a smoke bomb, a Belf Silence, and an off cheap shot onto the priest. And the hunter was pretty much rendered useless right there with just slows and that smoke bomb as well. So really nice setup there. This is a very difficult team for us. You know, very hard to win. But if you take these little tiny gaps and you just make the most out of them, you can, you know, definitely score some kills. You know, even in a disadvantaged matchup as RMP. That's why RMP is kind of, it's okay versus everything. It's really good versus some things, and it's okay versus everything. I don't know if there's anything that RMP is just trash against. If it is, it might be something like this, but even then, you can still score some wins if you get, you know, a nice, clean setup. Guys, if you like this video, make sure to thumbs it up. It really does help. If you didn't like the video, you can thumbs it down as well. Talk to me in the comments for what you guys want to see next time, and I'll see you, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!